Sam Amico, who's part of HoopsWire, been in the business for a long time. I'm kind of shift gears here to LeBron. It's going to tie me back to Luka, and it's going to kind of tie into a bigger conversation about the two of these players and just kind of where the Lakers franchise is. Here's what he said. This is Sam Amico. He said that this is, by the way, one veteran NBA executive told him the following. Yeah, usually when a star player like LeBron James opts into his contract, the team announces the move, the executive told Amico. I find this very strange. Something is definitely going on behind the scenes. I mean, the odds of LeBron getting traded are very, very, very low. His salary is just too high. Let me kind of read the rest of this here. But I think LeBron and the Lakers front office are butting heads. They haven't had an impressive offseason at all, talking about the team. And then there are rumors that Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka is saving cap space for 2027. That's just idiotic when you have LeBron and Luka. So this is an executive that told Sam Amico kind of about the Lakers situation and obviously what's unfolding with the Lakers. The thing that probably stood out to me most, there's two things that stood out most in this statement here, or these quotes that came out. One of them is the obvious one, that it's very strange that the Lakers didn't do anything or say anything or have any type of mention that he was opting into the final year of his contract. That's number one. He said that's very strange. The second thing is the last part where he says that's just idiotic when you have LeBron and Luka, that Lakers are saving cap space for 2027. Okay, let's try to kind of piece this thing together. And as best as I can, I'm going to try to be honest as well. I think if you told me right now, should the Lakers have one of two decisions to make. Should they go all in right now because they have LeBron and they have Luka? Granted, there's a 14-year difference between the two players. And granted, go look at what the Western Conference looks like. I think a lot of times everything is timing and it's your window. You might want to go all in, but you might look at the Western Conference. Should teams have been going all in? I'm giving this as an example. I'm not saying this is the situation in the West. But when Kevin Durant joined the Golden State Warriors, was that the time to go all in? I don't know. Probably not, just because you felt like they were going to dominate. If I said that the Lakers got two options here, go all in right now with Luka and LeBron and get rid of every asset that you have for basically a one-year run where you got to go up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Houston Rockets, the Denver Nuggets. How good will Dallas be? Let's see what Golden State Warriors, what they end up doing with the rest of their roster. The Clippers clearly got a really good roster, and they could very well add to it by getting Bradley Beal and potentially Chris Paul as well. Or just completely start planning for the future, because you feel like whatever you do, it's not going to be good enough to go up against those squads. And how much can you rely on LeBron, who's 40 and will be 41 by the time the calendar turns and we get to January 1st. So the executive that, put in here that he thinks it's idiotic by the Lakers, it's just idiotic when you have LeBron and Luka, then I think what that executive is trying to say, and you could make this case, and I'm sure there's a lot of Laker fans. I'm not looking at the comments right now, so it's on a separate screen. I'll go back to it in a second. There are a lot of Laker fans that could very well say, you got to go all in right now. You have to. You have to. If you don't go all in right now, what the hell are you doing? Who cares about the future? Lakers are going to figure it out. But I think the bigger question you got to ask yourself the question of, can those two actually go compete for an NBA championship right now with how I would call it flawed the Lakers roster is? Can they actually compete for a championship? Do you actually really think that there's a move to be made where they could be kind of leading the pack in the Western Conference, or toe-to-toe with Denver, or toe-to-toe with Houston, or toe-to-toe with the Oklahoma City Thunder? I'm just using those three because I do think those are the three best teams in the Western Conference. It feels like there isn't a move to put the Lakers in that category. It feels like the Lakers, for the first time in a really long time, are saying to themselves, guys, we keep chasing something that's not there. And I just don't think there's something there. That doesn't mean the Lakers can't compete. Doesn't mean the Lakers can't have a successful upcoming season. It doesn't mean that the Lakers can't be a headache in the playoffs. But I think for me to say, hey, trade Austin Reeves, get rid of Dalton Connect, get rid of that first rounder, get rid of every asset that you have right now, because now is the time to go all in, sounds irresponsible to me. That's what it sounds like to me. And I think obviously the situation for the Lakers, and I'm not telling you that this offseason has been a good one for the Lakers. I'm not telling you that, everybody's walking away with a ton of confidence with what the team and the structure of what the team has done. But I think one thing you can say is it feels like they're being a little bit more responsible. It feels like the page is certainly churning, and maybe that's why LeBron is not. Maybe that's why he put out that statement when he did. Maybe the Rich Paul statement. Maybe there is some friction between the front office and LeBron because the Lakers have told LeBron, "This is it, brother. You've been an unbelievable partner, but we've reached an end here where we really got to start looking towards the future." And we got this 26-year-old who can very well be the MVP this upcoming season. Has some games in the NBA where he dropped 70 points, is getting into the best shape he's ever been in his life because he's got a chip on his shoulder and he wants to one day become a Laker legend. And in order for us as a responsible franchise to accommodate what the future looks like, it could affect what the present looks like. And I think that's obviously been the biggest headache for LeBron. Thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout out here to one of our partners, the Wallace Firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.